In the annals of aviation history, few aircraft have earned the reputation, respect, and raw presence of the McDonnell Douglas F-4 Phantom II. With its distinctive double-seat cockpit, twin engines, and unmistakable smoke-trailing afterburners, the Phantom became a Cold War icon, a machine that not only set records but also fought in nearly every major conflict from the 1960s to the 1990s. Over 5,000 were built, serving in the air forces and navies of a staggering 12 nations. The story begins in the mid-1950s. The United States Navy was seeking a new carrier-based fighter that could outperform anything in the sky. McDonnell Aircraft answered the call, initially working on a project known as the F-3HG Super Demon. That concept evolved into a much larger and more capable design, eventually becoming the F-4 Phantom II. First flown on May 27, 1958, the Phantom stunned military evaluators with its speed, climb rate, and weapons load. At a time when air combat doctrine was shifting toward guided missiles, the F-4 was designed without an internal cannon, relying instead on radar-guided AIM-7 Sparrow missiles and heat-seeking AIM-9 Sidewinders. This was revolutionary for its day. During its test phase, the Phantom shattered 16 world records, including an absolute speed record of 1,606 miles per hour, Mach 2.2, and a sustained altitude of over 98,000 feet. These feats were more than just bragging rights. They demonstrated that the U.S. had created a fighter that could dominate both the high-speed intercept and long-range strike roles. The F-4 was a true multi-role aircraft before the term was even popular. Powered by two General Electric J79 turbojet engines, it could push out 35,000 pounds of thrust in afterburner. Its top speed exceeded Mach 2, with a combat radius of around 370 miles, extendable with external fuel tanks. It could carry over 18,000 pounds of ordnance, bombs, missiles, rockets, making it as capable in ground attack as it was in air-to-air combat. With its powerful AN/APQ-72 and later AN/APQ-120 radar, the Phantom could detect and engage enemies beyond visual range, a capability rare for its time. The Phantom entered service with the U.S. Navy in 1961, followed quickly by the Marine Corps and U.S. Air Force. It was unique in that it became the primary fighter for all three U.S. services, a testament to its versatility. Its first major combat came in the Vietnam War, where it served as both an air superiority fighter and a ground attack platform. Early in the war, pilots struggled with the missile-only armament, as dogfighting often closed the distance before missiles could be used effectively. This led to the later addition of an internal M61 Vulcan cannon in the F-4E model. The Vietnam War would become the F-4 Phantom's proving ground. The 4th Fighter Wing, flying from Ubon Royal Thai Air Force Base, became one of the most active units of the conflict. Operating from Thailand and over Laos, its aircraft logged more than 8,000 combat missions, striking deep into North Vietnam, including heavily defended targets around Hanoi. While exact sortie totals across all Phantom units remain unknown, the performance of this single wing reflects the relentless operational tempo the F-4 maintained throughout the war. In the air-to-air arena, the Phantom proved itself a formidable fighter. U.S. Navy F-4 crews claimed 40 enemy aircraft destroyed, losing 7 Phantoms to enemy fighters, along with 13 more to surface-to-air missiles and 53 to anti-aircraft artillery. The U.S. Marine Corps, operating primarily in close support roles, downed 3 MiGs but lost 75 aircraft in combat, most to ground fire, plus 4 in accidents. The U.S. Air Force's tally was even more impressive: 107.5 confirmed MiG kills, including MiG-17s, MiG-19s, and MiG-21s, achieved through a mix of missile engagements, gun pod use, and skilled maneuvering. In return, the Air Force lost 33 Phantoms to enemy aircraft, with additional losses to SAMs and heavy AAA fire. When adding up all services, the U.S. lost a total of 761 F-4 and RF-4 aircraft in Vietnam, 528 from the Air Force and 233 from Navy and Marine units combined. One of the Phantom's most famous moments came in Operation Bolo on January 2, 1967. In this cleverly executed mission, U.S. Air Force F-4s disguised themselves on radar as F-105 Thunder Chief strike aircraft, luring MiG-21s into the air. The trap worked. 7 MiGs were shot down without a single U.S. loss. North Vietnamese records acknowledged 5 losses that day. In the strike role, the Phantom became one of the central pillars of America's aerial bombardment campaign. While no exact figure exists for bombs dropped solely by the F-4, U.S. forces as a whole dropped over 7.5 million tons of ordnance on Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia between 1965 and 1975. As the war progressed and the F-105 fleet was depleted, the Phantom increasingly carried the bulk of these missions. With 9 external hardpoints and the ability to haul over 18,000 pounds of bombs, rockets, and missiles, the F-4 was unmatched in its ability to deliver both precision strikes and saturation bombing. By the end of the war, the Phantom's record was clear. It had fought in the most heavily defended skies in history, flown thousands of combat missions, shot down more than 100 enemy aircraft, and delivered massive amounts of ordnance. It left Vietnam as a proven and feared combat machine. The Phantom's success in Vietnam was only the beginning. It saw action in the Yom Kippur War of 1973 with both Israel and Egypt, the Iran-Iraq War throughout the 1980s, and even Operation Desert Storm in 1991, where it flew reconnaissance and wild weasel suppression missions. Many Allied air forces, including those of Japan, Germany, and the United Kingdom, also flew the Phantom for decades. In total, 5,195 F-4s were produced between 1958 and 1981, making it the most built supersonic U.S. fighter in history. By the late 1980s and 1990s, the Phantom began to be replaced by newer fighters like the F-15, F-16, and F-A-18. Still, its legend endured. The Phantom was a bridge between the gunfighting jets of the Korean War and the missile-dominated dogfights of the modern era. It was a jet that did everything: air superiority, strike missions, reconnaissance, and electronic warfare. Even today, some nations still operate upgraded Phantoms, a testament to its enduring strength. The F-4 Phantom II wasn't just an aircraft. It was a symbol of American aerospace power during the Cold War, feared by enemies and beloved by the pilots who mastered its raw, smoky, thunderous performance. Its roar may have faded from most skies, but its legacy will never be forgotten.